What's up, guys? Back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk to you about Cook Off. This movie is about a $1 million cook-off. It brings together a bunch of amateur chefs and cooks for this massive prize, and that's pretty much it. It just attracts a bunch of colorful, bizarre people, and they cook some stuff, and the movie ends. That's pretty much the whole thing. Obviously, there's a lot that happens between the characters and whatnot, but that's what happens here. People cook, and the movie ends. This movie's kind of interesting to me because it was made in 2007. It sat on the shelf for for a decade. It didn't come out until 2017, which is kind of interesting because it has some name talent in it. Melissa McCarthy, who became a pretty big star in that meantime. I would figure that would be enough to, for it to get a wide release, but, it sat forever. Whenever you hear about a movie that's been shelved for even like a couple years, you start to wonder like, how bad is this movie? But honestly, Cook Off is not that bad. It's kind of like a C-level version of a Christopher Guest movie, where it puts together a bunch of colorful, quirky characters and has like an improv dialogue and loose storyline feel to it. But it's not nearly as good as the Christopher Guest movies. I think the issue that I have with this is that there's so many characters, and the script just doesn't do a good job of bringing them all to life. The focus shifts so often, and it just is never able to really do much with the characters as far as giving them real like personas and making you kind of care about them at all. That's one thing Christopher Guest is always really good at, is even when he has a big ensemble cast, he makes sure that each of those characters is built in a way that when they interact with other people, the comedy comes from the characters, not so much just random stuff that they're saying. That's what makes the improv so funny, is that it comes from the character. And in the case of Cook Off, it just seems like they're doing a bunch of random Reno 911, kind of humor, like where it's funny in the moment, but then you just kind of forget about it. But it's not as funny as Reno 911. But it just kind of has that like random feel to it. And I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it either. It's definitely one I'll never need to watch again. But it does have some fun performances. Melissa McCarthy is fine as like this really weird, super sad and super, I don't know, suspicious and like just anxiety riddled character. There's some funny scenes between these two weird sisters who run a sex toy business, but neither one of them have ever used them, and they don't seem like they even have sex, so I don't know. There's some funny characters and there's some funny lines, but it's just not well developed, and there's just not enough like character development to make it where it would be really, really funny. But if you need like a comedy to watch one night and you've seen, can't think of anything that you haven't seen, this is something that, you put on and you watch it. It's definitely worth looking at, but it's probably not something that's going to stick with you for very long after you've seen it. But it's got a ton of, colorful, talented people in it, so it's definitely fun to watch. I just wish it was more character driven, not just kind of random stuff happening. But anyway, that's my review of Cook Off. I watched it on Blu-ray. It looks fine. It looks kind of like, it has that like mockumentary kind of look to it, but it still has a polished look. I didn't watch any of the extras because I didn't really like the movie enough to care about any of the extras. But it looked good, and to me that's the most important part of any Blu-ray presentation or any home video presentation, really. So that's my review of Cook Off. If you want to read the full review, you can go to markfusion.com. If you want to see what else I'm doing, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Letterboxd. There's a Patreon if you want to get exclusive content. All the money from Patreon goes directly into buying new movies, TV shows, stuff like that. I don't spend any of it on baubles and jewels and fur coats and all that. So anything that you support me with is directly going back into the channel and my website. But the best way you can help me out is just to hit the sub button. It's free, easy, and a direct way to, for me to gauge my progress and to continue to make this content for you. In the end, like I said, Cook Off, I don't know, I feel bad kind of like I'm ragging on it, but it's just, I don't know, it's just not that memorable to me. But anyway, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you guys liked it, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.